Alright, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Just leaving the gym, and it's like 11 o'clock today. I ended up going at like 9:20, I think is when I got here. And Toby's still in Texas. And I listened to, I finished the Robert Greene interview podcast, which was the author that I was talking about 2 days ago. And he was talking about like power and stuff, and that was a pretty good interview. And then I continued with another podcast on the Andrew Huberman podcast, which, if you don't know him, a lot of people know him. He's like a very big scientist that he's a big YouTuber, and he's really popular, but he talks, him and his guests, like in this one it was with Dr. Maya Shankar, and they were talking about like finding your purpose and stuff, because this lady, she was like really into the violin, and she like really enjoyed playing the violin and was really good, and then she like injured her finger or something, and her career ended, so she couldn't do it anymore, and then she started reading, and that's how she got into science and became a scientist. And but anyways, they were talking about like your purpose and stuff, and I was following along for a little bit, like here and there. But that's what I was going to say about the Dr. Huberman podcast, Andrew Huberman. Him and his guests, they use like such big words and like such like deep conversations where they talk about things that are so much information that it's like it's hard to follow sometimes. So some of it was hard to follow, but he has really good information if you can keep track of it all. And so I'll link those two to the description down below. And yesterday, I didn't get a video yesterday. I didn't go to the gym yesterday, and it really bugs me because like Saturdays are tough because there's the weekend, and it's like I want to do stuff with my family, and it's leg day, so it's the longest day, and if I don't go like right when I wake up, we usually start doing stuff, and then I don't get to end up going because the gym, the Planet Fitness here, I don't know if they're all like this, but on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, they close at 7 p.m. So it's like by the time I would be able to go when we're not doing anything, they're closed. So if I don't go right when I wake up, then I don't get to go usually. And yesterday I went on a motorcycle ride with my dad around the lake, and it was really cool. It was funny. We rode, there was like this little corner thing. Well, it was a corner, and there's like off to the edge, there was like parking you could kind of see the lake from, and it's just like a dirt like thing off to the side of the road, and there's like this big mound of dirt, and we were riding by, and we see this Scion XB or XC, whatever the cube Scion is, and it's like high centered on this pile of dirt, and this older couple are out trying to, like, they're looking at it, and the lady's on the phone, and so I kind of chuckled as we went by, and then my dad stopped, and he's like, let's go help him. So then we turned around and we went back, and we tried to push it off, like push it backwards. But one of the front wheels, because it's front wheel drive car, the passenger side in the front was touching the ground, but the driver's side one was in the air, and because it was in the air, all the power was going to that. And so we tried to like put a bunch of dirt under it to try and get it to touch the floor. We tried to use their floor mat to get traction on it, and it wasn't working. But they said they were talking to a couple of kids, like teenage kids, that said they were going to go and get their winch, and they were talking to them like 20 minutes before we showed up, and they still hadn't gotten back yet. So while we were trying to do that, they finally showed up in a rhino looking thing, like a side-by-side, but not like an off-road one. Does that make sense? But it had a winch on it, and they had their dog in the back, and so they went and they hooked it on to the back of it and pulled it out, and they couldn't get it out, so then me and my dad pushing on it as they pulled it out because their tires kept spinning, and finally got it unstuck. And it was kind of funny. It was fun. It's something you don't see every day. So that was cool. We did that right when I woke up, so that's what I did instead of the gym, really. But it was so fun. I love going on those rides around the lake because, don't tell anyone, we go kind of fast because there's no cops back there. And we're on motorcycles, and it's just windy roads up in the mountains around the lake. It's super fun. And then we got home, and my dad took my sister to the mall. So I hung out with my mom, and, well, first I mowed the lawn, and then we went and got some food, and one of my friends and his dad was downtown playing pickleball. So then we went and played pickleball for a couple hours. And his dad is really sweaty. Like really sweaty at pickleball. And it's kind of annoying because we're just out there having fun. And then he's just over here. He hits it to one side, so then you have to go over and get it. And then he hits it super hard, like as far as he can away from you. And there's like no chance of you getting it, and he just does that over and over again, and it's like, really, bro? But it's fun. It was still fun. And oh yeah, today the truck's missing. So today we're supposed to be going on the boat with my friend Brandon and his family, which will be fun, hopefully. And yeah, oh, and I finally got a date for when I'm gonna be moving. And I guess my grandpa is gonna come up here on the 27th, I think, the 27th, and then probably end up going down on the 31st, which is a little bit further out than I was hoping, but I mean, we got a date. So now I can start. Well, not start, because I've already started, but I need to look into stuff that I can do down there and figure it out before I get down there, so then I have a plan. But I was thinking, because like right now, well, I still want to get a job that has commission. It's commission based, so then it will give me a reason to work more, and then I can make more money because I'll be working more, and it will motivate me to keep working and keep getting better and improving and stuff. But the thing, like real estate, like my mom's trying to get me to sell insurance, which I'm not against that, and I think that would be cool because you could do it remotely, and then you could be like, I could be a digital nomad, which like you can work from anywhere in the world really, and I could go travel around and stuff. But the thing is, like, why I want to sell houses and cars is because you're helping people find things that they want to buy. Like, people want to buy that stuff, and you're just kind of helping them find the right thing that they want. Or like insurance, I feel like, from what I know, nobody really wants insurance. So you're just kind of like forcing people onto these to sell them, and that's like the kind of reputation you think of when you think of salesmen. But that's the only thing I have against that. But I mean, I would do it. But then on the other hand, I was thinking, like, I heard I think it was the Robert Greene interview, where he was talking about he had jobs. He did a bunch of jobs when he was younger, and he wanted to, like, a bunch of different jobs, and he purposely picked out these jobs that would give him experiences that, like, he wouldn't get anywhere else, so he could write about it because he knew he wanted to be an author. And so he found these jobs that he knew were gonna give him experiences that he could write about and like tell stories about, because people really like stories. Like, that's one thing I noticed with like stuff, just watching things and looking at things and patterns. People really like stories, and they like when you can talk about your experiences. So he was like, well, if I get these jobs and they give me all these experiences, then I can write about all these different experiences and the different people that I meet and what they do and their stories. And it's like, that's a really good idea. But like, I really don't have any intention of being an author right now. But so if I did get my real estate license, that takes a couple years to start meeting people and getting referrals and stuff. It takes like 2 years, because I interviewed a real estate agent for my senior project, and that's about what he said, how it is, to where you start picking up momentum and stuff. And so I was thinking, well, and lots of people do real estate on the side when they're starting out, and they still do another job. So I was thinking, well, what is a job? Comment this below if you can think of anything. What is a job that would give you interesting experiences, like on the day-to-day basis? And I was thinking, like, well, it would have to be something where you're in the field, like out in the real world all the time, and not like in an office or something. Because I mean, how many different stories can you get out of an office? But that's something I'm going to start thinking about. So what kind of jobs can you get these stories from? And like experiences, and to do things, like just different things that you do all the time. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video there. And sorry for not posting yesterday. I should have still posted, but I didn't. It's over now, but if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Make sure you join the Discord, link in description. It's an online brotherhood. We talk about a bunch of things in life. And subscribe, share the video with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one.